Dust on the Moon here, going to do a power ranking of my league after first week's matchup. 6 teams got the win, 6 teams got the loss. I am going to put teams in different tiers. The first tier obviously is going to be the championship tier. I think so far there's only one team in it, and that's Sky Gary. He is punting quite a few categories, threes, points, and free throw. Joker has been having a monster year, averaging a triple double. So he's giving him all these assists, right? So he's got all the big man stats: rebound, blocks, field goal, and his assists and steals are also scary. This team is by far the best team in the league. The second tier is kind of like, for sure going to make the playoffs, but not necessarily going to win. Have some certain weaknesses. I would put my team in that category. My team, I got all the guard, but my field goal is going to be my field goal is not going to be good. My free throw is strong. My threes are strong. My rebound is somewhat okay because I got Darius Bazley and Wendell Carter Jr. So it depends on the matchup. I can beat some teams with somewhat low rebound. Assist, I'm going to be strong, but not too strong because I don't have a guy. I got Harden and Curry, but after that, I don't have a consistent 6'5", 6" assist guy. So I really got 2 guys that can really pass the ball. At this moment, my steals are okay. Not too strong. Got some steal assists and a lot of guards. My blocks are somewhat weak. Only got 2 big men. But once I got JJJ back, it's gonna boost my block quite a bit. This guy's gonna average 1.7 blocks, maybe 2. My turnovers, I got a lot of turnovers. My points are pretty strong. I think one of the strongest in the league. Who else belongs in the tier? I think 2 other teams. Just by looking, I think Will's team and also Horky's team. Will's team, I think it's looking like he did be leader by 1 rebound last week. He has quite a unique team. He's punting free throws, so his field goal is pretty strong, led by Sabonis and LeBron and Montrezl Harrell. And he got other guys like Mitchell Robinson. So his big man stats is really strong. And as a big man team, he has decent scoring. Sabonis having a great year and decent assist. Because, Westbrook and LeBron, those 2 guys probably going to average top 3 in the league in assists, both of them. And he's decent in steals. Somewhat decent in blocks because he's got Mitchell Robinson. So yeah, this team is looking good. And Horky's team, that's another team that's going to make the playoffs and try and make a deep run. It's looking like, and his Draymond Green hasn't played, right? Horky team is an all guard team, so his guard stats pretty strong: free throw, threes, assists, steals, and points. Look at this team. His field goal is shit. His rebound is shit, absolutely shit. He has 1 guy, Larry Nance Jr., but he may not get minutes. Right? His blocks, nobody on his team is doing. The most guys Jaylen Brown. So this team, when he played, depending on the matchup, when he plays some teams, he's just gonna win. But he play my team, for example, he's going to have a very tough time playing my team. But he can make the playoffs, make a deep run, depending who's playing in the playoffs. I would say that's the second tier. The third tier is all the teams that, if they are healthy, they can make the playoffs, but they're 1 injury away from missing. Because 8 teams do make the playoffs. We already talked about 4 teams. I think the teams that are in that category right now is B-More team, Baltimore YP's team. I think Kawhi Leonard's Laugh, House team, King Sheep, Dream Shakers, Dr. Walkby. I think and triple double, no assist. I think though those teams right now they look like they're going to make the playoffs if they stay healthy all season, but it's close. Um, so Kawhi Leonard's team they get the win first week, but his problem is uh, he drafted John Morant's third round. Yeah, Morant is going to be out for a few weeks, so that's what I was saying. And Cat is out, so he's gonna struggle for the next 4 or 5 weeks. So you know what? I take that back. I think given the injury now, it's going to be tough. Like he might be if he can pick up a win or two. Let's say he loses four straight, right? He's going to be bottom of the league, struggling to make the playoffs, for sure. So I would actually put him the last year. So let's skip him. And also he's got Kawhi, who's going to sit out a lot of games. Kim Sheep's team is actually pretty decent, quite efficient, a lot of big men, but a lot of his guys are underperforming. Woods has been playing well, but AD guys like AD, Kyrie, he's got Kevin Love. I think you got to drop this guy at some point. Maybe you can hold him if it fits your team, but this guy is gonna miss out so many games, and when he does play, he doesn't even play that many minutes. But AD has been underperforming quite a bit. But she's got a pretty well-rounded team. So I think he should make the playoffs. Triple double, no assist. That's Lian's team. Lian's team is quite. I think like his first couple picks are quite strong. It just his team doesn't really have an identity. Like which category is he really strong in? He's decent in free throws, I would say. Like he's got Dame time, Bradley Beal, and his big men are somewhat good in assists. He's got decent points, I think, decent threes. But his defensive stats don't look that strong, and his field goal not that strong. So you see a big man team, he's not a big man team. You see a guard team, and what category is he really strong at? I'm not exactly sure. So it's somewhat really balanced, but his efficiency is not that strong. But he shouldn't have a problem making the playoff if he's fully healthy. Dr. Walkby and Leader. Leader's team is, I think Leader's made a lot of good draft picks. Like his players are not that bad, but if you put them together, I think like I'm talking about free throw specifically. D Booker is a good free throw guy, even though so far D Booker and Chris Middleton, Jason Tatum, they're good defense free throw guys. But then you got De'Aaron Fox. That kind of kills you. With your free throw, he's like a low 70, high volume, and you don't. Other than D Booker, there's no big free throw anchors, and but he's got a lot of. He made a lot of strong picks. Mika Bridges been playing really well. Michael Porter Jr. He's got Chris Boucher, but is his a block strong? Because he's only really got one guy. Oh, he's got Jerry Allen now, but his blocks are average. His steals are average. He's got a lot of I guess average categories. But he doesn't really have a category that's super strong. That I just look at like, wow, leaders got that locked down. He doesn't really have that one category. Let's look at YP's team. Doctor. Actually, I haven't talked about YP's team. YP's team is kind of the same issue. Seems like got a lot of volume stats. He's also got a lot of guys hurt. Cousins and John Wall, it will be tough to hold them. See how well they play. If John Wall, let's say, is scoring like 15 points, 5 assists per game, and he's gonna miss out so many games, are you better off just streaming that spot? I don't know. Same thing with Cousins. He's got a lot of volume stats, but if his efficiency not that strong, and that volume stat doesn't include defensive stats. So not too high on this team right now. Dr. Walkby teams is pretty strong. After the Harden trade, I think a lot of people hate on him for no reason. Hate on poor Walkby for no reason. His scoring is strong, Zach LaVine, T.J. Warren, Embiid, D'Lo, right? Those guys scoring, and Tobias Harris should give him 17, 18 points a game. And Drummond's been playing surprisingly well, averaging 20 points. The only problem is he hasn't his field goal. It hasn't been that good. So this team is interesting. He's got a lot of big man stats because he's got 3 big men: Joel Embiid, DeAndre Ayton, Andre Drummond, just being just like they're beasts, grabbing rebound. But those guys not other than Ayton, those guys field goals are not a big field goal anchors, but give him all the other big man stats. Lauri Markkanen's been playing well. So this team, I think Wabai is trying to build a well-rounded team. He's like YP, get a lot of counting stats, but as together his team, free throw, because Drummond is hurting him, field goal, is somewhat weak because he's got a lot of field goal cancers on his team. So yeah, it's interesting, but all those teams, it's still too early to tell. The last team I want to talk, I think the 2 teams on the last tier. Let me just change this real quick. I'll be recording. Okay, make it small. I think the last 2 teams right now that's looking the weakest is Daniel's team and Vignish's team. Daniel, obviously, I think he's, he admitted himself he hasn't really played fantasy much, and he's not even, he changed his lineup yesterday. Okay, yeah, guys out. So I guess the first thing is just set your lineup every day, and also making some changes. Drop JaVale McGee, drop Harrison Barnes being strong. You can keep him if you want. But first thing is drop JaVale McGee, right, and put Kristaps Porzingis into your IR, so you get an extra spot, you get an extra guy on your team. So before he does that, he's going to be in the last tier, missing the playoffs, and his draft is not exactly strong. Got Pascal Siakam early, Jamal Murray, those guys, and he got Giannis first, which is, I don't think it's the right picking first. So that's Daniel's team, and Vignish's team. It's got a lot of guys, you can drop. Just top of my head, I think Aaron Baines is on the edge. You can drop him. Brandon Clark, Hassan. It's hard to drop Hassan Whiteside. DeAndre Jordan really only give you those blocks and rebound, but can you drop him? It's tough. It's tough. But it's on the border. Like when you have an odd big man team, really like those guys give you 2-3 stats, right? But you're gonna struggle the rest categories. And your first pick is KD, who's efficient, well-rounded. So a lot of KD stats are going to waste. Same thing with Jimmy Butler, Chris Paul. Like his 3 picks are not bad, but after that, I don't really like anybody on his team. I'm not too high. Like I'm not too high on Duncan Robinson. I'm not too high on Dennis Schroeder. I'm not too high on Aaron Gordon. And also Rudy Gobert is a big man. Give you all the big man stats. So I don't know. His team doesn't look too good right now. Gotta make some moves. I know he's trying to trade KD, but guys like KD is hard to trade. You're not gonna get like a first rounder back. That's it about the power ranking. I'll do another one next week.